Derek Jeter wouldn't make his Major League Baseball debut for another 2 years, but in 1993, Topps decided to make a Jeter prospect card. Today's card is a 1993 Topps Gold Derek Jeter rookie card. In PSA 10, it last sold for $2,127, which is an 11% increase in the last 3 months. This is the Card Matrix Lab, where I combine market data, a custom dashboard, and my decades of collecting experience to analyze cards. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research. Let's get to the data. In the PSA population report, we have 12,129 copies graded by PSA, with only 449 PSA 10s. You can also see there's only 2 PSA 1s and 2 PSA 3s. Is a PSA 10 actually a scarce grade on this card? I would say so. 3.7% gem rate is quite low, but PSA 9 is a dominant grade. Nearly 42% of all graded copies have received the PSA 9 grade. And the other thing here, with it being the Topps Gold, it's a little more limited than the Topps flagship card, with only 12,000 copies graded versus 58,000 copies graded of the base cards. That's almost 5 times more cards graded of the base versus the gold. What does each grade cost and how many exist? PSA 9 you can get for less than $100. PSA 10 will cost you more than $2,000. Also, with the population, there's more than 5,000 available of PSA 9, whereas PSA is only graded 449 PSA 10s. So PSA 9, there's 11 times more PSA 9s out there than PSA 10s. And if you want a PSA 10, you're going to have to pay a 26x premium for a PSA 10 over a PSA 9. What is the market activity for the Jeter? Well, there's only been 8 sales in the last 90 days. Activity rating is quite low, not a lot of sales. Average sale price is $22.46, but we'll get into that in a minute. Like I said, the average sale price $22.46. The last sale was $21.27. The low sale $18.89. The high sale $38.13. I went ahead and took a look at these listings, or these sold listings, and the $38.13 is from the REA auction. It just seems like an outlier to me. It isn't a newer holder, but it's way above any other recent sale. Sometimes people get into bidding war. That's all I can't explain it otherwise. The $18.89 sale was on eBay, and that was in an old holder. And then the $21.27, which was the last card recorded sale, that was actually in a newer holder. So that really told me, okay, well, why did the other one sell for $3,800? And I don't see a particular reason for it. In terms of a general price range, though, you have eye appeal, you have the centering included with that, the gold foil condition. The gold foil can be prone to scratching and wear. That kind of can be what separates between a 9 and a 10. And then, like I've already mentioned, the holder generation has become quite important, and people are willing to pay more for a newer holder versus an older holder on these cards. What is the current listing supply? Again, I went on eBay to look at what was available. The 4 lowest listings were all the older holder to get to the newer holder. The lowest one was $3,000. The lowest available at the time of this recording was $2,200, right in that range of the last sale. Why does this card matter to collectors? Well, Topps Gold has been around since 1992, so this was the second year of Topps Gold. Topps Gold continues to this day, although now it's serial numbered, whereas back in 1993 it was 1 gold per pack, and they were not serial numbered. This is a nice step up also from your regular base flagship Derek Jeter rookie, but still keeping the Topps branding. The PSA gem rate is quite low because of the gold foil, like we talked about earlier. And another thing to note is the thin market. Low volume creates opportunity and risk. Like I said, I think the lower one, maybe that the $1,800 sale, maybe that slipped through the cracks. And then the $3,800, maybe it was just some sort of bidding war. What this means is if you're patient as a buyer, maybe you can find a good deal. If you're patient as a seller, you might be able to get top dollar for your card. So what's the verdict on this card? Well, there's low liquidity on this card, low current supply. The grading premium is quite high, 26.6x, but it also is hard to get in PSA 10 because of the gold foil etching and everything. And market signal on this is neutral. In terms of hobby lore and hobby history, this card is quite recognizable. And Topps took a chance on Jeter in 1993, and so did the Yankees. And he ended up really turning out into a Hall of Famer and one of the all-time greats. Again, this is my opinion, not advice. But if you liked, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next card.